Hello everyone, it is your figure break, and today on your break, I'm going to be doing a figure from Max Factory. It is their Iowa Figma. So sit back, relax, and enjoy your break. Okay, so Max Factory's Iowa Figma. Really excited to open this up because it's the first Figma that's going to be on the channel. I haven't opened it up yet, but now we're finally getting around to opening up one. As for the box, it's pretty much just like an Android box where it shows all the different poses and whatnot. There's not really any designing or patterning on it. It's a pretty typical plain box. Now, the sticker of authenticity is right here on the front. There's only one, so I don't think there is a bootleg that exists yet, but always be looking out for those seals, obviously. Now, the other thing is that I have the pre-order bonus, which is an extra faceplate. We are going to be taking a look at that, but let's first go ahead, open up this Figma, and let's take a look at it. Okay, so here's Iowa out of the box. She actually looks really great. I'm really happy with how this Figma turned out. The sculpting on it is probably the most exceptional thing on it. There's a lot of details that went into, for example, the hat that she's wearing. The belt and the skirt even has some wrinkles on it, and the belt buckle is extremely well detailed in terms of its sculpting. Now the paint on the Figma, it could be better. It seems to be, I don't know, it doesn't seem to have like a nice finish to it. That's the only thing that I can explain. There's no bleeding or splotching or anything like that. It just doesn't seem to be very rich with color. But then again, that's also sometimes the case with Nendos. There's not too much shading or highlight on them, so maybe that's what I'm kind of expecting. I'm so used to like scale figures and not Figmas. But despite all of that, the greatest part I think about this entire Figma is those garters. Like, those garters are making figure collecting great again. The hair of the Figma is actually fairly well done. Not in terms of paint, in terms of like shading and highlights, for example, but the sculpt and the feasibility of it are well done. For example, the front little bangs here are actually really flexible, so they're not going to be too much in the way of posing with the arms or anything like that. Also, the back bangs, these parts right here, are actually turnable. Not too much flexibility with it, but probably enough that it's not going to get in the way of her shoulders, for example, when you do happen to pose her with it. Now, getting into her accessories, she does come with a few body accessories. Not too much item accessories like a plate of food or something like that. So her first few things are her faceplates, and her default faceplate that she comes with out of the box is this bright cherry smile face, which is what she's wearing right now, which is really adorable and very welcoming and just really gives you kind of like good vibes, as it were. And then she comes with a winking kind of face, which is also really adorable, kind of the typical face that some idols use, kind of like in their posing pictures. And then she comes with like a ditzy / klutz face, and that's also really nice. She usually does this expression when she's in her battle damage version or something like that. Like, I know on that scale figure you see that face that she's doing, but if you pre-order her bonus through Good Smile Company, you get this Genki looking face, which is just her just as happy as possible, which, considering the amount of faceplates that she has, that she's basically smiling, it's kind of no surprise that you're getting this faceplate with her when you pre-order bonus her. So the other body accessories that she comes with is hands. She comes with 7 extra hands that you can swap out with her. She comes with 2 hands that are completely open that she's wearing right out of the box. She then has 2 closed hands, which is what she's using right now. And then she has 2 saluting hands. And by the way, both of these are for the left and right side. And she comes with her klutz face, which is her kind of like knocking her head. So she comes with that hand accessory too. Now, the part that I find strange is that she comes also with 2 hands, both left and right, for gripping something. So say like a sword or like a flag or something like that. but yet she doesn't come with an accessory that does that, which I find kind of weird. But I'm really glad that they at least included it, so if you do have something you can put into her hands, you have the option to. And now getting on to our final accessory, her ship part, which of course every ship girl has to have. Which the paintwork and the sculpt work on it are very clean. There doesn't seem to be any flaws with that on it whatsoever. And as for the posability of all the cannons, every single one can be rotated 360 degrees. The only parts that you can tilt the actual cannons of are on the 3 big main cannons. Only those ones you can actually tilt like I'm showing right here. But the thing that I'm most impressed about is that it's not heavy, which is one thing that I was worried about, and I would need like multiple arms, like 3 different arms for like each part, kind of like what my Yamato Figma actually has. It has multiple arms because it's just that heavy. So really glad that I'm able to just have this one single arm that I can pose it like this if I really want to. Now, getting into the posability of Iowa herself. You have a few limitations, and that's going to mostly reside within the legs. The ankles can tilt forward and back, but not side to side. Same thing with the knees pretty much. The limitation then really hits when you get to the hips. You can't quite put the legs all the way up, because the skirt is actually preventing that, unfortunately. So you don't have too much flexibility when it comes to that joint. Now, when it comes to the arms, there you have a lot of flexibility because the elbows can pretty much open and close and even rotate. Same thing with the wrist too. A lot of flexibility in there too. These cuffs can also rotate too, so that's also another thing that you can compose and control. The torso is also flexible. So you have fairly good amount of flexibility, but again, with a few limitations. Okay, so as for a rating of this Figma. Whoa. Hold on a sec here. I need to give a bit of disclaimer. The rating that I'm about to give doesn't really have that much weight to it. Mostly due to the fact that I have only opened up 2 other Figmas in my entire collection, so I don't have that much experience with Figmas. I don't know if the paint job that's on this Figma is really good or really bad. So, until I have more experience with Figmas, the ratings I'm going to give on any of my Figma videos for a while are probably going to be taken with a grain of salt. So again, a little bit of disclaimer that I really felt like I had to tell you guys. I would be giving it a 7.5 out of 10. What's holding it back the most is going to be the paintwork on it. It just doesn't seem to be as clean as some figures and even Nendroids have, to be honest with you. You also don't have that many accessories with it. I kind of wish she had an American flag, for example, that she can wave around if need be. Also, you have limitations with the flexibility, only in the legs though. That's pretty much it. When it comes to the rest of it, I'm really liking the fact that the ship is light. You don't have to have a whole bunch of arms holding it up or supporting the figure. I mean, in this pose, it can very obviously tilt over, but again, you just got to be really careful with it. Either way, I am really glad that I got this in, and I can't wait to start playing around with the posing of this Figma. Okay, everyone, that concludes my review of Max Factory's Iowa Figma. I really hope you enjoyed the review, and I really hope you enjoyed your break too. And I will see you in the next video. See you later.